Petit Fours. We're going to glaze some Petit Fours, which are, the base is a pound cake, a layer of apricot glaze, and a thin layer of marzipan. They are cut into approximately 1 by 1 inch. Now what we have to do is we have boiled some more apricot glaze, and we put a very thin layer of this apricot glaze on top of the marzipan to seal the marzipan. If the marzipan absorbs the glaze, which is fondant, the glaze loses the shine. So by coating the top with the apricot glaze, the glaze is going to sit on top and it's not going to sink inside. Then to make the dipping of the Petit Fours faster, I'm going to pull them apart so we can grab them easier. I'm heating up some fondant. I'm going to start off with white fondant. Then I'm going to switch in the same pot to orange and then change it into chocolate so we can do 3 different colors in one go. Okay, I need a screen to set the Petit Fours down, and what I'm using to dip them is a metal spatula. So I'm going to heat up the fondant, and the fondant has to be body temperature. The way I check the temperature is with the back of my little finger, which is really heat sensitive. Once we have reached the body temperature, we take it off the heat and adjust the consistency of the fondant with a simple syrup. If we overheat the fondant, it dries too quick. It doesn't give us as much time to work with it. If we keep the fondant too low in temperature, the fondant stays sticky. Because the Petit Fours, after they are glazed, they're going to sit on the screen. We're going to have to take them off. Usually they are put into small paper cups and then decorated. So what I'm looking for is that the fondant just is liquid enough that it runs down the side of the Petit Fours, but still has approximately 1 millimeter thickness on the product. Okay, just a little bit more. I'll put the pot between the screen and the Petit Fours. Stir it long enough to make sure that all the syrup has disappeared. It's immersed with the fondant. Otherwise it sits in layers on top of the glaze. Okay. And this down here. Take the Petit Fours, dip it inside, turn it over, and stand it on the tray. Okay. All the way down to the base, flip it sideways, and turn it over. Push it all the way down, so you have it between the spatula and the finger. Lift off the spatula. Okay, now we switch the color, so we don't have to switch the pot. And when we finish at the end, we're going to turn everything into chocolate, because there's many items we use chocolate fondant for. You can do up to about 4 colors. If you do yellow, after white, yellow, then orange, red, then you still can change everything chocolate at the end. Pick it up and set it down. If the fondant gets too cold, or if it gets too thick, we just go back on the stove, and then we might have to add a little bit more syrup. It's got to fill in the sides completely when we do this. And to the next few before I switch to chocolate. Okay, now we switch to chocolate. So we're going to use some chocolate fudge, which I have melted on the stove. So it doesn't matter what color you end up with before you do the chocolate. Chocolate fudge will cover everything. And we can turn it into a nice chocolate fondant. And do the last few. Just going to put it up here. So the fondant will take approximately 3-4 minutes to dry enough, dry to the touch that they can be removed and put into paper cups. I usually decorate them once they're in the paper cups, so we don't have trouble with the finishing, with the decorations when we have to touch them after. Okay, so we're just gonna let them sit for a minute, and then we can do the decorations and the finishing. Now the Petite Fours have set enough to the touch. I can remove them, so you can either put them into small paper cups for retail, or you can put them onto a serving plate. And the best way to do it is with a cloth that has a little bit of moisture on it, so they don't stick. Take the knife, cut underneath, and just place them right on the plate or in the cup. If there's too much sugar on the side, you can always cut them off. Okay, so I'm just going to use those to do a simple design with paper cone on it. So I made a paper cone with melted chocolate. I just put some designs on here. and we have the finished decorated Petit Fours.